Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be my top 10 best books of 2023. It's also going to be my bookish superlatives video, which basically means I'm giving categorical prizes to each of these books for best this or that. So let's get into it. First, I have a caveat because one of these books, a book by Anita Kelly, I have heard that the author has said anti-Semitic things on a social media. I'm not sure which one. It was a text-based one, either Threads or Twitter. And I heard about this third hand, so the person that I heard it from had heard it secondhand and didn't have the details. And by the time I heard about it, all the posts and in fact the account had been deleted. In these particular times, we both have cases of people who are saying anti-Zionist things being taken as anti-Semitic things. We also have people using what's happening in Palestine as a shield to say anti-Semitic things. And because I don't know which of these things is the case, I'm going to continue to talk about this author's books until I can find somebody who knows specifics. I both searched for discussions on Twitter and on Threads, and I put out a question on Threads asking if anybody knew anything, and couldn't find anything. Anita Kelly still has an active Instagram account, and I couldn't find any references to it on there. So yeah, that's where I am with whether or not I'm going to continue to promote this author. And if I acquire more details in the future, I will put them either in a comment or in the description. And if it comes out that anti-Semitic things were actually said and then not taken back, I will probably edit out the portion of this video that is about their books. So if there is a odd portion of this video missing, that would be why. So I'm going to start with a honorable mention, which is basically number 11, but I wanted it to be top 10. And then I'm going to work up towards number 1 and give you the superlatives as I go along. And that is the best erotica that I read this year, and that was Entranced by the Basilisks. This is a continuation of a series that is a bunch of monster romances, several of which are polyamorous. This one is 2 bi men and I believe, and I don't actually know the woman's orientation. I really thought that the erotica portions were spicy in a way that I enjoy, and the romance portion and the emotions were also very well fleshed out, and that's important to me in an erotica, because if it's a big focus on the sex without the romance, the emotions aren't there during the sex, and that's like my favorite part. So like combining those two things I think was really well done in this story. Next we have the best book out of my comfort zone, and that was Hell Followed With Us. This is a dystopia, apocalyptic, horror-ish adventure story that features a trans man protagonist and an autistic man protagonist. Boy might be more appropriate, they're teenagers. There is this horrible sickness that was created by Christians of a certain stripe who wanted to bring about the end of the world. How pertinent. And it turns people into monsters, and our main character was supposed to be the big, horrible, monstrous weapon of these Christians to like finalize the takedown of all the non-Christians left in the world. And the whole turning into a creature thing is part of the horror, and there's body horror in it. I usually don't like apocalyptic stuff, dystopian stuff, because for one, usually it's a trilogy at least, and you don't get any kind of resolution till the last end of the last book. But this is a standalone, so you get a resolution at the end of just the one book. And I found it to be a lot more hopeful than a lot of dystopian and apocalyptic type stories tend to be. And I really liked how it addressed disability, both autism and the magical disability caused by people turning into monstrous creatures. And yeah, I thought it was really well done. Had good social commentary as well as being entertaining and having really good characters that I really loved. Best historical fiction I give to Minor Detail. This one mixes historical with modern. So the first half is historical, the second half is modern, and the first half is told from the perspective of an Israeli soldier, and has several horror elements, both in human horror of what humans do to each other, as well as a bit of body horror going on because this character has an injury. And then the second half is someone trying to investigate and find out what happened in the past and to tell the full story. And in that section we have the horror of humans doing horrible things to humans and having a very real and current dystopian society that she is living under, of the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and the rest of Palestine. This is a bit of another case of an author doing so well that they make me enjoy a genre that I do not usually. Horror mixed with historical fiction that has no romance or fantasy in it is not usually my thing, but I think this was just so well done and very informational while also having strong character work. And I was very impressed by that. Number 8, best nonfiction, is Spectrums. This is a collection of essays and poetry and things like that by trans autistic people, and I'm autistic, so I really like reading autistic perspectives, and adding in trans perspectives, which I am cis, is really helpful to help me understand people who are so similar and yet different from me. And a lot of it is about the connection between autism and transness, because there is a large crossover of the population, and how the way autism works in your brain makes you less likely to adhere to social norms, and how that interacts with transness. It was very interesting, so that was really cool. It was recommended to me by Sekevi. Number 7 is the best continuation, and that was Queen of Gilded Horns. This one, I read the first book I think 2 years ago, maybe at the very beginning of 2022. So I had read it a long time ago, but the second book really did a good job of refreshing my memory without rehashing too much stuff. And like, even though I had forgotten how some of the mechanics of the fantasy world worked, this really brought it back and like made it so I could understand without having to reread the first book, which is fairly impressive. And I also really liked the characters and how much change the characters went through in this book. It is a setup of 2 sisters basically vying for the throne and having this spell put on them where one of them has to kill the other one, and then that one will gain the throne, along with a lot of complicated politics going all around, and this race of people who have animal characteristics versus the race of people who do not, and how the one section of people is oppressed. Figuring out all the complicatedness going on around that, and the resistance, and all these things mixed with this relationship between sisters. So that is what the duology addresses, and I think that this second book does an excellent job of bringing it home. Number 6, best short work. I'm not sure if it would be called a short story or a novella. It's like 100 pages or so. But this is After the Dragons by Cynthia Zhang. I really love this story. It is a little bit about disability and chronic illness. It's a little bit about dragons, small ones, and about taking care of animals. It's a lot about doing what you can in a world where so much is wrong. Just helping one creature is worthwhile, and it's a lot about love. And yeah, I really love the themes as well as the character work. Number 5, best friends. When the Angels Left the Old Country is number 5. This is about an angel and a demon who are both Jewish, teaming up to try to find someone who's gone missing from their shtetl. And they were friends for a long time before this, and their friendship grows and changes with the story. Yeah, I just love how important they are to each other. How their friendship grew through studying scripture together and debating and talking, and then it also grows through taking action and fighting for each other. So I love both of those aspects, as well as just the individual characters. Both of them I really found delightful. Number 4 is the book I consider to be the best debut that I read last year, which was To Shape a Dragon's Breath. For a debut, the prose was remarkably well done, not awkward at all. The character work was very strong. This one also had an autistic side character that I thought was well done. Right now I can't remember if the author said that he was autistic or if he's just extremely autism coded, but like I'm very positive that he's autistic. Anyway, but they don't have that diagnosis in the historical fantasy type world that this is set in. So this is about a young indigenous girl who finds a dragon egg, and she's maybe 16, and the local colonizers want everyone who finds a dragon to go to their dragon school so that it can be raised properly. And she goes to this school, meets, I think, one other indigenous student, several colonizer students, and I love the dragons as characters, as well as all of the other characters. I think the teachers were really well done. I love the school setting. It reminded me a little bit of Alan and the First Adventure. Yeah, it was very original and yet familiar, and I really enjoyed that. And also dragons are really cool. Number 3, best upgrade, as in this book was better than the previous book in the series, and that is Weird Blood by Azalea Crowley. I enjoyed this a lot. I'm really enjoying following the romance between this young woman who is also autistic and the vampire that she is the caretaker for the ward of. I love that dynamic. They're just very cute characters, and the prose has gotten steadily better with each book, less and less awkward, and I really think that this author is going to continue to improve, and I can't wait to see the next book. Number 2, best social commentary while still being entertaining as a fiction book. That goes to Squire by Nadia Shamas and Sarah Alfagin. This one is about colonialism and the victims of it being forced to take part in it and further it. And this one also has Alana and Kelladry vibes while having nuanced social commentary. The illustrations are beautiful. I really enjoyed all of the characters. I had a few favorite characters. Yeah, it did an excellent job of balancing social commentary with entertainment and making them work together seamlessly. First prize goes to Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly, and the superlative for this one is that it made my heart grow 3 sizes, which is a prompt I stole from The Grinch Stole My Book tag. This is about an autistic main character and a allistic main character who fall in love while they are hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, and I just thought that the way that they interacted was so lovely, the way their neurodivergencies interacted with their romance and affected it, because the second character, it isn't like diagnosed in the pages, and I don't know if the author has talked about it, but he seems to have narcolepsy, and their romance really touched my heart, as well as really enjoying all the nature talk that went on because of the hiking of the Pacific Crest Trail. Pretty sure it made me cry. Those were my top 10 books of 2023. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have a few top 10 or favorite books from 2023 that you would like to shout out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!